Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to do this with you.
I know. I haven't gone live like this before, so this is fun.
Oh, well, you're perfect for it. And thank you for waking up so early. I know
Of
it's
course.
super early in the morning. Awesome. Well, why don't we? I'm excited to hear what you have to say. So, why don't we just go ahead and start?
Okay.
I think you're familiar with how it works. So, it's a
hmm
5 minute timer. I'm going to start the timer now, and when the buzzer goes off, then we finish. But usually we
Okay.
haven't been stopping right at the timer, but and
Okay.
nothing's going to be edited. That's also
Okay. Great.
okay. All right. So even before I start the timer, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us more about who you are and what you do and so on.
Sure. I am Makenzi Koyen. I'm an actor, a writer, and a current grad student. I'm actually getting my master's in theology right now, and I own a business called Make Home. So,
Nice. I
yeah.
love that. All right. So let me hear more about my home. What is it? What does it mean? And how you started it.
Yeah, so Make Home is a service to help organize and clean people's homes or closets, whatever their need is at the time. And its purpose is to help create space for what we most value. So honestly, it kind of started, I was thinking about it last night. It really started back when I was in college. I was just constantly rummaging through my stuff, selling clothes, honestly, to just make some cash at the time. But just over time, it just became a habit. Like I would say I was probably doing it at least every 3 months. Just felt like I wanted to purge my belongings, and through that and through moving around a lot, I just started to acquire less and less stuff, and it just kind of became a part of my life.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
know this wasn't part of the questions that I was going to ask you, but I think it's interesting. I'm always too lazy to sell things. What do you think is the best way to sell things?
Well, I've used like in having lived in New York and LA, I've used the common like stores like Beacon's Closet, Crossroads, Wasteland. And through during COVID, I actually was introduced to an Instagram that sells clothes like online. It does take
Oh,
a lot more, a little bit more work because you have to photograph everything and send in all the sizing and all of that. But I mean, it was quarantine, so we had time. So,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, awesome. So, from what I've been looking at Meg Combs' Instagram, and you talk a lot about other things. It's not just about like, oh, let's have a spring cleaning.
Yeah.
Why is the space so important to you? Like, why is your space around you so important to you?
Yeah. I mean, our space is where a lot of us spend most of our time, and I think it's typically where we start and end our day. So I feel like your space is really going to set the tone for how you operate in that space, or how you rest, how it affects your focus, it affects your productivity, and it can really just I think it has the ability to really bring you peace of mind. And um, so I think being intentional in that space is pretty important.
Yeah. And I mean, you said that you kind of were doing it already all through college, but did you have a moment of realization in regards to that? Like, or maybe you had a moment of realization when you realized that you wanted to help other people to do it. Like, yeah, how did that happen?
I think I didn't, I think the realization probably came within the last 2 years. I don't think I was really aware of why I was doing it at
Yeah.
that time. I think I just enjoyed it and I liked the way it made me feel and I had fun doing it. And then within the last 2 years, I actually started to read into simple living and intentionality and came under the teachings of some other people who were just promoting a lifestyle of, I mean, I prefer intentionality over simplicity, because I
Yeah.
think, sometimes when we say things like simplicity or minimalism, it just paints a very specific picture in people's minds. But I feel like being intentional is more, it just is going to look different for everybody, which is cool, because it's not about like, you can only have 2 pairs of shoes, or,
Yeah.
it's about why you're making the purchases that you're purchasing, or are you making time to rest? And if not, why not? Is it because you think that if you don't get something done, that it's going to say something about who you are, or
Yeah.
just kind of getting more to the matters of the heart? That's what really sparked my passion for it. And I felt like, especially during this time of COVID, when everybody's at home in their space, probably a
Yeah.
lot more than they're used to,
Oh
I
yeah.
just was feeling this weight and this just heart for people that might be just feeling very consumed by their surroundings, and just thought it might be a cool or nice way to offer. Is it time already?
Yeah, it goes by really quickly,
That's
right?
really quick, yeah.
Yes. No, but I want you to finish your thought, and I have another question for you after that.
Um, I just thought that it would be a nice way to help lift the load, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, and I'm sure I know a few people that have used your service, and they seem like they're really happy, and yeah, it's so important. Um, so you talk about focus and living with intentionality, like besides having that, your space in a certain way, what are some other things or practices that help you focus?
Yes. Um, I will preface this by saying I'm still practicing these things. I do not do any
Yeah.
of this perfectly,
Yeah.
but I definitely, putting my phone on do not disturb when I need to work is a big one. Sometimes even just putting it away, because Instagram is so tempting and it's distracting. Um, and also, I think just not checking my phone first thing in the morning. I try to not check it for like the first 2 hours of my day, because I just don't want to be mastered by my phone. And when I'm feeling like, if I'm feeling stuck at any point of my day, I run. I run almost every day, because it just helps me clear my head.
Yeah.
And stretching also helps me stay focused. Um, and getting plenty of rest and drinking a lot of water throughout the day.
I'm all
Yes.
for that. Sleep and water.
Yes.
So important.
And they're
Also,
the easiest things to neglect. Sorry.
yeah,
But
I
they
think it's
are.
because they're so easy, it seems so
Yeah.
simple, so people don't pay attention. Like, no, it has to be more complicated than that?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
So,
That's super helpful. And what is your one wish for the future of our society, um, as we come out of what's happening now or move forward, or, just in the future, what's your one wish for our society?
um, my one wish is that we would come out of this more intentional with our time, with the way we treat ourselves and others around us, and the way we spend our money, and just the way we treat one another, and that we would put our hope in Jesus.
Yes, amen.
Amen.
Good. Awesome. Well, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, Makenzi.
Thanks, Karina.
Thank you. I'm going to tag Make Home. Everybody, check it out. Makenzi is amazing. I really trust her work in this area and lots of other areas too. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
yes, absolutely. But thank you so much. It was so good having you on here.
Thank you.